1, 2, 1, 2. All right, we here. Come on, mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check. 2. All right, we here. All right, sounds good. Let's share this baby. Oh, excuse me. So as always, here to bring out another lesson, Lord willing, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right. And I see you brothers and sisters on the comment board. Shalom to all y'all. Shabbat Shalom to be exact. We're going to get started in just a second. Hold tight. All right. Here we go. So, all praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect out there. All right, this video is entitled World News, Emmett Till Law, Severe Storms, and Global Food Shortage. All right. World News, Emmett Till Law, Severe Storms, and Global Food Shortage. Now, these are the main topics, but it's going to be various other things going on as well. Okay. So, as always, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, and as always, right, all praise Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, as I said. So, we're going to just get right off into it. Maybe I'll open up with the scripture here. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 7. And actually, we'll just go right to the point. We'll start at verse 6. It says, For this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to the Most High in the Spirit. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch under prayer. And that's where we at. The end of all things is at hand. You know, we're getting near the end. We're in the end days, but we're not at the very end. It's the beginning of sorrows, but it's still the end of all things is at hand. So what are we to do? But the end of all things is at hand. Be therefore sober and watch under prayer. That sober is sober-minded. Okay. And verse 8 says, And above all, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. So among the brotherhood, of course, we do have charity, okay, among those in the faith, in the truth. And a great charity is donating your time, getting involved in the ministry, doing the work of the Most High, all right, of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Let's say it like that. All right, just hold on here, brothers. Let me check something out here. All right. So let's read here also Luke 21 and 25 before we get off into the news. And I actually got a full lesson plan here. I got let's see what we got. I got an article, I got news, I got another video from here, another funny video, many things we could go into. We'll see how the spirit goes, So this is Luke 21 verse 25. It says, And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. You're seeing all those things. You've either seen them or you're also seeing them happen as we speak. And it says at the top, the return of the anointed. So there shall be signs in the sun. What is that? We've seen solar eclipses in the last few years. And in the moon, we've seen lunar eclipses in the last few years. Blood moons, blue moons. And in the stars, we've seen chariot sightings. We've seen comets and different things going on up there, and all types of stuff. And upon the earth, the stress of nations with perplexity. Currently, you got the stress of nations. Everybody's chomping at the bit, getting prepared for the big war, the big woe, the third woe in Revelation, right? Which is going to be Armageddon, according to the scriptures, but we say World War III. And you're also seeing the nations being perplexed by what's going on with Russia and Ukraine, but also too what's going on with their own interests. It says, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. So that's what we're waiting to see, right? But before all these things happen, you got to see all the signs being fulfilled. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So these things begin to come to pass. That's why we always excited for the next thing that's going to happen. Now I also want to read here verse 29, Luke 21:29. And he spake to them a parable. Behold, the fig tree and all the trees, when they now shoot forth, ye see and know of your own selves that summer is nigh at hand. Let's see. I want to see what this says here, the alternate version. It says, NLT, when the leaves come out, ye know without being told that summer is near. NIV, when they sprout leaves, you can see for yourselves and know that summer is near. ESV, as soon as they come out and leaf, you see for yourselves and know that summer is already near, which is, pretty much the same thing, right? Verse 30 again, when they now shoot forth, you see and know of your own selves that summer is nigh at hand. So likewise, when you see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of the Most High is nigh at hand. Let's get real quick, Matthew 16, right? That we know the signs. This is Matthew 16, verse 1. It says, the Pharisees test Yahushua. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the time? So we don't want to be hypocrites. We need to look at the things that's going on in the earth and know that through the signs that summer is nigh at hand, right? As the scripture told us. We know that the Lord is the second coming is close at hand. Jacob's trouble is close at hand. The MOTB, the mark of the beast, is close at hand. Luke 12, verse 54 is a precept. And he said also to the people, when you see a cloud rise out of the west, straightway ye say, there cometh a shower, and so it is. And when ye see the south wind blow, ye say, there will be heat, and it cometh to pass. Ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that ye do not discern this time? And that's backing up perfectly what's written in Matthew 16. So we either look at the signs and know what time we are in. Going back, Luke 21:32, verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away, as we know. So all things will be fulfilled, which were written in the scriptures, as the Lord told us. So let's go ahead and get the first news report here. Let's get this one first. Let's go to war in Ukraine. Just hold on here. Go back, start that over. Let's change the definition. Let's also, yeah, we got it. So this video is entitled War in Ukraine Impacts Global Food Supply. It's about 6 minutes and 14 seconds long. We're going to check it out. All right, I got to put my earphones in so I can hear what's going on. If you brothers got scriptures to offer, feel free to do so. All right, and as a matter of fact, let's see here. Hold on, brothers. Yeah, if you brothers got scriptures to offer, feel free to do so. In the first opportunity I get, I'll read some off the comment board. But right now, let's get right into the news. All right, so let's go ahead and play this. Hold tight.
For the average American, who knew that this Russian invasion of Ukraine would actually steal from your breadbasket? And not only yours, but everyone around the world. The United Nations this week is warning that this fight could cause one of the most disastrous global food shortages since World War II. Russia has actually become the largest exporter of wheat worldwide, and Ukraine is also a major contributor. And that's why Representative Austin Scott joins me now as a senior member of the House Armed Services Committee and the House Agricultural Committee. He's monitoring and preparing for food shortage across the globe due to what he says is Vladimir Putin's obsession with restoring the former Soviet Union. Good to have you, Congressman. Let's talk about Ukrainian farmers. And you wrote about this. They've had to become fighters, trading tractors for tanks. Has that just wiped out their farms?
It pretty much has, at least for the next several months. And as you know, if you don't get a crop planted, then you can't get a crop harvested. And so, Kara, what we're seeing right now is that the labor's not there to get the crops in the ground. The diesel's not there to run the equipment. You've got logistical issues with seed and chemicals and fertilizer. So we're very concerned that Ukraine is not able to get a crop planted, much less harvested. And they have been the largest supplier of the UN World Food Program, 50 million metric tons of corn and wheat that they export to the world. And so when we talk about these shortages, I want people who are watching this to understand, I still think if you're in the United States, you're going to be able to go to the grocery store and you're going to be able to buy a loaf of bread. We're talking about those countries that are fed out of the UN World Food Program and some of the other less fortunate countries that literally may not have food.
Right, and they depend.
And these devils are so damn hypocritical. Damn Haiti been starving. They the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. And you ain't said nothing about that. You worried about these blue-eyed, blonde-haired devils over there in Ukraine, which we ain't worried about them.
On those bags of grain, we see it in every situation being brought in to help people that are in fear of starving. You know, not just you're not the only one talking about this, but Secretary of State Antony Blinken blaming Russia today, actually, for the soaring prices of staples like wheat. And President Biden, as you know, had it on his agenda as he met with European leaders. Let's take a listen.
It's going to be real. The price of these sanctions is not just imposed upon Russia. It's imposed upon an awful lot of countries as well, including European countries and our country as well. And because both Russia and Ukraine have been the breadbasket of Europe in terms of wheat, for example. We are in the process of working out with our European friends what it would take to help alleviate the concerns relative to food shortages.
And as you know, the president also said that he and the Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau, they talked about increasing agricultural production in the U.S. and Canada to help make up for these shortfalls. He's actually urging countries to drop trade restrictions. Do you support that? And what else do you think the U.S. should be doing?
Sure, I do think we should drop the trade restrictions, absolutely. And you know, the one thing I want to point out is that it's not necessarily the sanctions that are going to lead to the shortage as much as it is that the war is going to prevent the crops from even being planted, and the logistics of getting the crop in the field and out of the field and actually delivered to people that need it. So you may see some increased price in the U.S. from, for example, the Russian oil ban, which I support. I wish we had done it in December instead of this past month. But it's not the sanctions that are going to lead to the shortage of food globally. It is the Russian invasion and the inability to actually plant the crops. Now, the other issue that we have to watch in the U.S. for our agriculture is the increased cost of production, going up from $300 to $400 an acre, depending on where you are, because Russia is the #1 producer of nitrogen. They are number 2 or number 3 in Belarus, falling in number 2, number 3 in potash. Now, Canada does have the ability.
I just wanted to show you this. Look at this graphic on the screen. Global wheat exporters 2020. This is in the whole world. Russia is 19.5%. That's a big chunk of the world's wheat. All right. Ukraine is 8.97%. That's also a big chunk out of the whole world you're talking about. See? And as the brothers put on the comment board, you know, we believe, and this might not lead to it, but eventually there's going to be a famine. There's going to be a famine. Let's continue.
Put more potash. 2 of the 3 primary ingredients in fertilizer. And so we're very concerned also about cost of production in the U.S. and, you know, just logistically the ability to have the fertilizer that we need for the yields that we're used to in America, not just for this crop year, but for the next one as well.
Well, then we should probably talk about sunflowers as well. I don't think a lot of people realize. So tell us a little bit about that. I mean, sunflower oil, look, I use it. I know a lot of people that use it, and a lot of countries depend on it.
Sure, Ukraine is #1 in sunflower, and therefore #1 in sunflower oil. The oil goes to India, it goes to Africa, and it comes to the United States. And you know, the fact of the matter is, again, you know, you and I will probably pay a little more for that sunflower oil when we walk into the grocery store, but it's going to be those low-income countries around the world that is simply not going to be available in those countries. And so we're talking about the basics of life that Vladimir Putin has eliminated for a lot of the low-income and poor countries around the world. And so I think the UN needs to be pressing on a weekly basis to make sure that countries like China, who have been supportive through silence in some cases and supportive through positive votes in other cases of Russia and Russia's invasion, the UN needs to be doing more to get these countries to stand for the damage that's being done to the global food supply by Vladimir Putin and his invasion.
And we can't forget 1932, the Great Famine. Stalin starved millions itself. Congressman Austin Scott, thank you so much for your time.
Hi, everyone.
All right. Y'all heard it right there. So actually, I was going to go and what I was going to do was I was going to go to more news, but brother's doing such an excellent job on the scripts. We're going to go and read some of these. Just hold on here. I'm trying to get my get to my channel. All right, so let's go here. Let's actually hit the live stream, the live chat, excuse me. And y'all know how this thing does. It does its own thing. But let's get to the comment board and get some of these great scriptures that brothers put up. If I could get to it. Let's see here. All right. So I'm going to read, just jump around a bit. This is salvation of the elect, Revelation 22:7. Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book. Absolutely. You got to be involved in prophecy, man. We do a lot of videos on a lot of things, but prophecy is the main focus. Okay. This is Measure the Times 144, Jeremiah 11:11. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, excuse me, I will bring evil upon them. Upon who? Upon the Israelites. This is Jeremiah. During the time when Jeremiah was on the scene prophesying to Judah. And the Most High was pissed off with Judah. And even now, to this very day, you still got Jake that ain't involved in the truth, and they got to pay. They got to suffer, man. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them, because the Most High is crying unto you now with his gospel, and you ain't hearkening to it. So guess what? You got to suffer with these devils. This is GMS, your Whitazar, Bon Yahweh, 2nd Esdras 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, shall have told thee before. Salakia. I don't see the other part of it. Well, anyway, when we see part of the signs past, what he told us before, then you're going to know it's the same time when the Most High began to visit the world which he made, as it goes on to say. This is Measure the Times 144, 2nd Esdras 16:22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine. And this is in the, this was prophesied to happen in the time we're in now. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So that's what's coming. That's the image of what's on the way. This is Prince of Yahweh, Ezekiel 7:5. Thus saith the Lord power, and evil, and only evil, behold, is come, an end is come, the end is come. It watcheth for thee, behold, it is come. And we looking forward to a lot of these things playing out on the earth. This is Measure the Time, 2nd Esdras 6:22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. What happens when the storehouses are empty? That's when food supplies run short. Easily see how famine could come. This is Yeremiah, servant of Yahweh Shai, Ezekiel 5:16. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you. And I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread. That's a sure famine. Now that was prophesied to happen to the Israelites, back during that time. But as we're speaking of, we expect these things to repeat themselves. As a matter of fact, it's in Revelation. This is Halak Yasharallah, Revelation 6:6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. This is, in Revelation, where it's going into a famine. It's talking about the, food, the wheat, a measure of wheat for a penny, a measure of barley for a penny. What's the wheat and the barley? That's where you get bread from, right? And even make beer out of barley. So, but we speaking of bread, all right? Going on, this is Grace 144, Pompano, Florida. Ecclesiastes 12:4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And this is speaking of the grinding, he's talking about jobs, right? You're seeing that come up again. They're talking about a pandemic. The jobs, even though there's a lot of jobs out there, but the jobs are going to be scarce. Because I just read an article. I was reading the brothers had sent it out. There are like, how many? I want to say 30 of the top food chains, or 30 food chains that's threatening to disappear forever. So, it may be even more than 30. I was reading through the article the other day. So a lot of jobs, a lot of stores have closed up. They suffered, business wise over the last 2 years, because of the pandemic. Prince of Yahweh, 2 Ezra 15:5. Behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, sword, famine, death, and destruction. See, the Lord is going to do that. The same brother, 2 Ezra 15:49, right here. I tried to highlight it, but they don't want to act right. 2 Ezra 15:49, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence to waste thy houses with death and destruction. There you go. Sounds so beautiful, don't you agree? This is Parathon Ban Yahweh, 2 Kings 6:25. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, which is what? 80. Score is 20. 80. 20 times 4 is 80. 80 pieces of silver for a horse head, or for a horse head, or a jackass head. And the forepart of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. Things got so bad they were selling unclean animal heads, okay? And dove's dung. So just imagine that. You might think you would never get hungry enough to eat bird poop, but don't say what you want to do. Anyway, so many great scriptures, brothers. The water we got to get on, man. Damn. Y'all killing it. Look at that. Look at that comment board. But that's the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shadow. That's the difference between a great millstone comment board and anybody else's comment board, right? Any other Israelite groups. This is GMS Saints of the Most High, Isaiah 3:1. For behold, the Lord of hosts, doth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water. Woo! It's coming. It's coming, man. This is one of the most greedy, well-fed nations that there is. And the Most High is going to bring forth a recompense. You just watch. We know the Lord is going to do what he said he's going to do. So let's go to the next one here. This is a weather report.
Americans are on high alert.
Let's change the definition first. Change the quality. Right? Can't get this thing. Act right. There it is. All right. So this says 58 million Americans on alert for damaging wind tornadoes. This is from ABC News. Let's listen to it.
58 million Americans are on high alert right now as dangerous storm.
It's a lock here. Hold up. Maybe this will stop the echo if I put my earphones in. Hold on, y'all.
58 million Americans are on high alert right now as dangerous storms are expected to hit the deep south. Ginger Z is live in Jackson, Mississippi with a new tornado watch right now. Ginger, what can we expect today?
Yes, Diane, we're back here in the Deep South because after last week when we had nearly 70 confirmed tornadoes and some folks here in Mississippi just got their power back, we are in that target zone again. This one is even broader. It is large, far north all the way, like say western Kentucky and Tennessee down to the Gulf Coast. So let's start you out with what's already going on. We're seeing pictures this morning of embedded potential tornadoes or microbursts in different places that have done damage in northwest Arkansas. Look at this from Wichita, Kansas, just lighting up the sky with all of that lightning like a warning of what is to come. So when you see the watches, which are already in place, and the ones you see on the map there go until 1 p.m. today, you know that southern Missouri, including Branson, down through Little Rock and Pine Bluff, into Shreveport, and even Tyler, Texas this morning, are watching that line. You can see it on the radar. It has embedded tornadoes already, and it will have even more. There is a little bit more fuel. You can even see above me some of the blue sky trying to pop through. We didn't have that last week. We were kind of blanketed in a security of a wet blanket of clouds, but that is not happening. Parts of Alexandria, Louisiana, New Orleans is in this threat again, Tupelo, Meridian, Hattiesburg, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, and the Florida Panhandle. The timing here is it crosses the Mississippi River about 2-3 p.m. Here in Jackson, it's about 4-5 p.m. when the bulk of it's coming through, and then it moves and slides into the overnight hours, even in the Florida Panhandle and Alabama. See how tomorrow it opens up with that front from eastern Pennsylvania down into Virginia and down in the southeast. Diane.
All right, Ginger Z from Jackson, Mississippi. Stay safe, Ginger. Thank you.
All right, so take note. If you're in those areas, those tornado areas, take note. All right, and hey, pray, because we don't know what the Most High gonna allow to happen. These storms gonna cut loose at some point. We know that. Now we're in the damaging winds and possible tornado threat area, but you know it's not as bad as what's going on down there in the down there in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi area. All right, the Gulf Coast is what I was trying to say. The Gulf Coast area. We can get real quickly here. Get a couple of these scriptures dealing with the weather, then we're gonna move on. Get into the, to the world news. Let's see here. And like I said, the water you brothers on the comment board. And y'all saw that lightning, that was amazing. That's Almighty. Just the Almighty doing that. Nobody got lightning like that. Buddha don't have no lightning, right? White Jesus don't have lightning. They're idols. Allah don't have lightning. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai has lightning, tornadoes, right? These false gods and idols, the gods of the Hindus don't produce lightning. They don't do shit. They're just idols. This is, hold on, brothers. This is Amawan, Isaiah 28, verse 2. It says, behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which has a tempest of hell and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing down to the earth with the hand. Absolutely. The Lord have the mighty and strong one, not those other idols. This is Prince of Yahweh, Psalms 47 and 2. It says, for the Lord Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. The Lord is known. Same brother, Psalms 9:16. Now, the last scripture said the Lord Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. And we know this to be true. The Almighty. This is Psalms, same brother, Psalms 9:16. The Lord, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his hands. And it goes on to say, well, Higgaion Selah. So, hey, the wicked is snared in the work of their own hands. Now, we know that when these storms come through, tear people's houses up, mess up your livelihood, it's judgment from the Lord. Amawan, Isaiah 29 and 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. That's right. You visited of the Lord of hosts. You know, a lightning storm came through, a thunder, earthquakes, all these things. You know, you've been visited by the Lord. They even got that on the books where they say it's an act of God when certain things happen. All things are an act of the Most High, man, regardless. This is Nathan Yawasop, 2 Ezra 16 and 10. He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? Woo-wee. You hear it coming out. The Lord of hosts, right? So let's go on, refresh. It's just a certain way you deal with these phones, man. A little aggravating sometimes. This is GMS Vegas sit downs. Psalms 83:15. So persecute them with thy tempest and make them afraid with thy storm. That's right, the Lord of hosts. And Elder Hawad also had it. You see? The water to the elder brothers. Let's get one more here. Qadar Malak, Deuteronomy 10:17. For the Lord your God is the God of gods and Lord of lords, a great God, a mighty and a terrible, which regardeth not persons nor taketh reward. And as we said, these other gods, they don't have lightning. Okay? They don't have anything. They can't even take care of themselves. All right, so let's get back to it here. We're gonna go on to the news. So you got the right definition there. I'm gonna put these earphones in. We're gonna go right to the NBC nightly news and see what we see. All right, many stories involved in. We'll stop it periodically. This is NBC nightly news full broadcast from March 29th, which was, I believe, from Tuesday. So let's go ahead and start it up here, and then we'll come back if I can get this thing to play.
Tonight, Russia saying it will pull troops back from Ukraine's capital as peace talks offer faint glimmers of hope. But the violence continues. Ukraine saying...
Hold on, brothers. I have to change this whole thing, how it's doing. Damn, now I got a commercial. Just hold on, y'all. We're going to get to it.
Friends would walk up to me and just be like, what the f*** is in your mug? And I would...
You see how YouTube play games?
It was sickening. It was...
What? No. Salakia.
Tonight, Russia saying it will pull troops back from Ukraine's capital as peace talks offer faint glimmers of hope. But the violence continues. Ukraine saying at least 12 were killed when a Russian strike left a hole in a government building. That attack coming as both sides signaled progress from talks in Istanbul. Moscow saying it will drastically reduce its military operation near Kyiv. But a skeptical President Biden saying, quote, we'll see. And the fears among Ukraine's negotiators of being poisoned. Also tonight, the FDA and CDC authorizing second COVID boosters for adults 50 and older as that Omicron subvariant now becomes dominant in the U.S. Tracking a potential multi-day outbreak of severe weather, Al Roker is here. The new reports more than 7 hours of former President Trump's phone logs during the Capitol riot are missing and just revealed when Jared Kushner will testify before the January 6th committee. And the historic law signed by President Biden today, named in honor of Emmett Till, that many say was long overdue.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening. It may be too early for the world to hold its breath, but we start tonight with what could pass for a glimmer of optimism coming out of the war in Ukraine, specifically from around a negotiating table in Istanbul, where Russia announced it will drastically reduce military operations near Kyiv and Chernihiv to increase trust. Trust is in short supply, and as Russian missiles struck elsewhere, President Biden reacting to the Russian claim warily, saying, we'll see. American military officials saying signs of movement may just be a repositioning of Russian forces after failing in their attempts to take Ukraine's seat of power. British military analysts say Ukrainian fighters were seeing some success with localized counterattacks to the northwest of Kyiv, but cautioning Russian forces still pose a significant threat to the capital. Also tonight, President Biden speaking to key allies, affirming all are committed to raising the costs on Vladimir Putin. Richard Engel starts us off tonight from eastern Ukraine.
The new talks between Russia and Ukraine began with deep mistrust. No handshake, but after 4 hours, the most significant progress so far. Russia's deputy defense minister announcing Russian troops would drastically reduce activity in central Ukraine around Kyiv and the city of Chernihiv. Ukrainian officials saying no foreign troops, all have to leave Ukraine. But that Ukraine would negotiate on the future status of Russian-backed separatist areas in Donbass, leave open the issue of Russian-held Crimea, and critically accept neutrality, not pursuing NATO membership, in exchange for international security guarantees. But is it real progress or a trap? Russia only agreed to scale back in areas where it was already suffering heavy losses. And in the east, Russia continues to bomb civilians indiscriminately in Mariupol and in Kharkiv, where today Andrei was recovering in the hallway of a hospital. Only there because Russian bombs blew out the hospital's windows. Andrei says he was escaping his home when suddenly I heard the whistle and then I lost consciousness. Badly injured in his leg, he says he somehow managed to get his wife and daughter into their car. But as they were leaving, Russian forces hit the moving car. His wife, Tatiana, 24 years old and studying to be a hairdresser, told him, "I'll be with you forever." They would be her final words. Andrei was recovered by Ukrainian troops. His injured daughter was taken by relatives. He has no idea where. His wife's remains are still in the car. Too dangerous to reach her.
I can't even imagine how that must feel.
I also can't express what's happening inside of me. It feels like a dream, a nightmare. But I can wake up, while my wife cannot. He only has one picture of her with him, but he can't bear to look at it.
Richard, the president today signaling a bit of skepticism. He says he's not going to read anything into the Russian statements until he sees what their actions are.
And yeah, the propaganda is thick. I see Elder Malcolm on there asked a couple of questions about what's going on. And nobody's really fooled by it, man. It's too much damn propaganda. As a matter of fact, we're going to take a quick break away from that. I want to show y'all something. This little video, and you probably already seen it. So this right here is GMS Maccabean Spirit, Elder Malcolm Shalom. He said, why did they shut down the U.S. biolabs, which was going on over there? Right, we heard so much about different things, different atrocities going on. And now they're just making like, and what they're doing in the media, they're propagandizing the whole thing, making you hate, making people hate Putin and the Russians. And you have no idea why you hate them. You're doing it because they're showing you that. GMS Vegas sit down, so much one-sided propaganda. Absolutely. GMS Maccabean Spirit, where's the coverage over the Nazi group operating against Ukrainian citizens I've been hearing about? You know, which is, you know, more than likely, you know who probably got something to do with that. Either the damn CIA or the Israeli Mossad. More than likely, you know. But, hey, we can't prove it. Now, here's a video I want to show y'all. Just showing you how propaganda works. This individual probably has no idea what's going on over there, but yet he made this song. I guess you could call it that. But just listen to it. Check this shit out. And Esau embarrassing himself. So lock it, brothers. Let me get back to it.
Proof when I'm the proof when I'm in the booth spitting on the mic. Anti-vax. Putin hates all of them blacks. Putin is a bad racist. Put him in the ground, white or brown. And I'm in plain old town. And you know you just got found. I'm a pimp on a blimp. Unless a steak and shrimp. No, you can't stop my shine. I'm number 99. And you know I grind and shine. And you know I do it all the time. One more time, I'm teaching class. This is your whole pass. Zelensky is a VIP. Ukraine and I go insane. Put a bullet in Putin's brain. You know that is the plan.
Did you hear him? He said something about I go insane, put a bullet in Putin's brain. This is the shit they pushing. Vladimir Putin ain't did nothing to you people in the United States. What the fuck is you talking about? It's propaganda, man. It's propaganda. And you know, like the old saying goes, a lot of truth is said in jest. This is a big joke. Let's go back a little bit. Listen to this, even though it's painful to listen to. Listen to these whack lyrics. We'll go back to the beginning. I'll let it play through.
I'm the proof when I'm in the booth spitting on the mic. It's anti-vax.
Oh, by the way, this is supposed to be a city council meeting in Plano, Texas. This ain't no spoof. This is a real city council or some type of meeting like that. All right, and this actually happened. Check it out.
Hey, I'm the proof when I'm in the booth, spitting on the mic. Anti-vax. Putin hates all of them blacks. Putin is a bad racist. Put him in the ground, white or brown. And I'm in plain old town. And you know you just got found. I'm a pimp on a blimp. Eat lots of steak and shrimp. No, you can't stop my shine. I'm number 99. And you know I grind and shine. And you know I do it all the time. One more time, I'm teaching class. This is your whole path. Zelensky is a VIP. Ukraine and I go insane. Put a bullet in Putin's brain. You know that is the plan. I'm a Zelensky stan. I love you, Vladimir Zelensky. You are so smart. What's the smell? Did somebody fart? No way. What can you say? Vaccinate me straight or gay. I love you, and I love to rhyme and grind all the time. And you got that sanitizer, and you know I got that Pfizer. You know I stick it in my vein. Put a bullet in Putin's brain. Do it for the Ukraine. Before I go insane, let me antibacterial my body at the party. Sipping Bacardi, you know the flow. And I am a eating lots of steak and shrimp. One more time, I'm 99. And you know I grind and shine. Gas prices way too high. Vladimir Putin needs to die. Gas prices way too high. Vladimir needs to die. I'm the truth in the booth. Take my picture. I'm a winner. I'ma eat you for dinner. Okay.
You want to go to?
I just want to say, I love you. We need to take out Vladimir Putin, like Lindsey Graham said. Thank you, Mayor Mullins. I appreciate the time. Peace. God bless you all. Prime Stein on Instagram. Thank you.
We got you down. We got you down.
The next speaker is Brian Wellington.
See that? So even though it was a big joke, you know, even though it was corny and funny, you heard what he said in the song. He mentioned the vax, he mentioned blacks, right? And then meanwhile, over there in Ukraine, and see, there's more propaganda. What are you talking about? You know, he said he's a Zelensky fan or stan or something like that. What you don't even know Volodymyr Zelensky. You don't know that dude. That dude is a flaming, you know what? A damn comedian and an actor, man. But whatever, that's just the propaganda they pushing, and it's working on the people. The United States people, you watch the news, they tell you who to vote for, they tell you who to hate, they tell you who to love. This is Brother Amrayah, Job 13:4, but ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value, and we'll apply it to these people. Now, the elder brother from GMS Vegas sit down, the elder Karatazar, and the brother Parathon Banya Howard said, what about the so-called blacks being put in detention centers and detention camps? Right, what about them? You ain't hearing nothing about that. You so up in arms over some damn Ukraine, and you got so-called Negroes, you got to pray for Ukraine. I mean, fuck Ukraine. Fuck Ukraine. Yeah, and I figured that would give brothers a good laugh. No salt. No salt. Let's see here. Parathon Banya Howard, Ecclesiastes 27:13. The discourse of fools is irksome, and their sport is the wantonness of sin. Fire. Fire. This is a line of Israel, Job 30:8. They were children of fools, yeah, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. There you go. And his brother Shepherd King, black or brown, put him in the ground. But see, you ain't heard Vladimir Putin say that. Now, you did hear in a song from Russia, what did they say about the blacks? Kill the niggas while they're sleeping, something like that. But see, over on the other side of the earth, just like you found out in the movie, I don't know if you ever seen Inglourious Bastards. It was a movie about the, the Nazis or whatever. Brad Pitt was in it, among other people. They talked about, they said America was built on Negro sweat. And what you'll find out is on a lot of the countries, they despise America, like Russia, Germany. They had a lot of negative things to say about America because they know the only reason America got on top because they had the Israelites. And that's really what they be alluding to when they say things like that. Vladimir Putin know we the Israelites, man. You know they be taunting Biden them to you instead of worrying about this, you need to be worrying about them Hebrew Israelites over there. But see, you'll never hear that being reported on the news. We know that it's been being said, though. We know that. In the spirit, we know that. This is by Yon Yasharallah, Jeremiah 49, verse 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? In Edom, Esau is the so-called white man. The Russians, the Ukrainians, Americans, all you damn devils. You all cousins. The Israelis, the Romans, the Greeks, the French, the Spanish, all them different Edomites from around the world. All you going into slavery, man. Your time is almost up. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? It certainly looks that way. Boy, certainly looks that way. Yep, brother said Esau take the flavor out of everything. Elder Crowders, I say, gotta put this red corny nigga in shackles. Well, you know what? He gonna have to come back in the kingdom, because as far as I can see, that dude gonna be destroyed when the missiles hit. He ain't gonna make it to the shackles, but yeah, it would be a great thing to put his ass in shackles. And Amawan Abad said, a vessel fitted for destruction. Absolutely. Absolutely. And GMS Saints of the Most High put up a definition of the word awkward, which was what that was, awkward as hell, causing or feeling embarrassment or inconvenience. And that dude was awkward as shit, man. Yep. One of the sisters said, this proves Esau creates modern rappers. He sounds just like them. You know, in some level, yeah, he does. Because it's just them elementary, just this weak-ass words. It ain't really nothing behind it. It's just a bunch of damn empty words, which is all that rap garbage bullshit is, a bunch of empty words. And Jake stay trying to bring that shit in the truth, man, but it ain't going to work. All right, so let's get back to the news. Let's go back to the headphones. Got a lot more to... Hold on, brothers. And real quick, before we go back to the news, I wanted to show there was another article going back. I meant to show this while we was dealing with the whole famine, but this also still served well. So there's an article that came out among the brotherhood. Damn it! I'm gonna show this. This is from the Daily Star, the article that came out. I forget what brother shared it, but nonetheless, I went ahead and clicked on it and checked it out. It says woman's home bunker packed with weapons and 25 years worth of food that cost her, what is it, 15,000? I don't know. No, I mean, of course it ain't 15,000. It's euros, whatever it is. I'm sure they're repeated in the article. This lady name was Rowan McKenzie, 38, is ready for the end of the world and has created an underground bunker with essentials she needs to survive the apocalypse. These are simple devils. When the apocalypse comes, there ain't going to be no survivors but the elect. America going to be destroyed. But family and friends think she's crazy. And this devil is crazy. You think you're going to get out of this? Your food and your water and your shelter and your weapons ain't going to get you out of this. Shows you that these devils are not spiritual whatsoever. They're carnal. They're carnal as shit, man. Rowan McKenzie, 38, started to stock her cupboards 11 years ago to prepare herself for the end times. And then fuck around and get bit by a spider and die. You preparing for the end times, you might not even make it. Let's get that in the scriptures. Let's grab that real quick. See, Jake, these Edomites are proud as shit, man. Let's go here. This is Proverbs. What is that? 27:1. It says, boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. You have no idea if you're going to even be here. See that? You have no idea if you're going to be here. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. Let's get one more. Let's go to James. Is it 4? 4 and 13, somewhere around there. James 4 verse 13 says, go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get gain. Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord live, Salakia, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. Right. Lord willing, you will live to see the end of the world. Lord willing, we'll be saved out of this terrible time that's coming on the earth. Lord willing, we'll escape the destruction of Babylon the Great. Lord willing, the Most High will keep us during the time of Jacob's trouble. Lord willing, we'll wake up tomorrow and do more lessons and videos, right? James 4:16, but now ye rejoice in your boastings. All such rejoicing is evil. Let's get one more. This is Luke chapter 12 and verse 16. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits? And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But the Most High said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? And one of the brothers said on the comment board, she's stocking up that stuff for the elect. Little does she know that. So is he that layeth up treasure for himself and is not rich toward the Most High. So, hey, you laying a trap for yourself and you start stocking up, on a big level like this. Anyway, let's read into it a little bit. It says, a woman hoping to survive the apocalypse has built a bunker in her home and stocked up enough supplies to last her a quarter of a century. Rowan McKenzie, 38, started to stock her cupboards 11 years ago to prepare herself for the end times. She began purchasing large quantities of food items like beans and studied how to preserve them for long periods, the Mirror reported. And also has an arsenal of weapons on standby too. Rowan made the decision to build a bunker in her basement as her apocalypse preparations developed. The U.S.-based doomsday hoarder spent a whopping, it's euros. It says 7,650 euros on the bunker and filled it with enough supplies to last her for 25 years, which I know that's not according, the euro is worth more than the dollar. So you have to, raise up the level that would be. Now they give you a stupid pop-up in the way. So lock your brothers. I don't know how to get this thing off either. But I actually got another picture of it. We'll actually look at it. They ain't showing you a lot right there anyway. Let's see if we can't bring that picture up, that image. Come on now. Act right. There's a video. There's actually a video to it. Damn it. All right, here's the image. You don't see a whole lot. You just see some Cheeto paws, some water, some ramen noodles, some rice crisps, all different kind of little, a bunch of nothing. It's called preparation, not hoarding. Yeah, okay. Let's go back to the article and read it. Read more. Damn it, if I'm able, I'm blocked. Let's refresh it. All right. Damn. All kind of pop-ups. All right, let's do this then. Uh-oh, there we go. Oh, boy. All right. Going on. Damn it. Okay, let's just go over here. And you can easily look this up. She says, I've got hidden 8K bunker and 25 years of food for the apocalypse. People say I'm mad. All right. And that's her. Of course, nothing to see. So right here it says, as well as supplies to last her for 25 years, Rowan has also invested in a weapons arsenal just in case she needs to protect herself when doomsday comes. If it's doomsday, do you think it's going to be a day after doomsday? Doomsday means doom. Can a brother put that up in 2nd Esdras where it talks about the day of doom? Please. It says, she said the number one must for any bunker is defense. The number one must for any bunker is defense. And there's a more clear picture there. You need to protect yourself, especially in a dog-eat-dog situation. It's kill or be killed, and you need the best chance for survival. The best possible chance for survival. She added that if meat becomes scarce, she can use her guns to hunt for food. This chick is delusional, right? I had the secret bunker made for prepping purposes, where I have enough supplies for a family of 3 to last around 2 years. I prep for now, as you never know day to day what might happen. You can see more, more images here. Let's get that scripture, because this dumbass chick talking about the day of doomsday. Let me tell you what the day of doom is. This is when Babylon the Great is destroyed. It ain't gonna be here. This is come on now, act right. Parathon Banya Howard, GMS Saints of the Most High, GMS Vegas Sit Downs, GMS Harakah. All the brothers got it. So I'm gonna read it here. It says, starting at 2nd Ezra 7:43, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time. There ain't gonna be no day after the day of doom, day after doomsday. The Lord gonna come. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time and the beginning of the immortality which is for to come, wherein corruption is past, and temperance is at an end, infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, Esau, Edom, nor to oppress him that hath gotten the victory, Jacob, Israel. Nobody's going to be able to oppress Jacob, and nobody's going to be able to save Esau. And anybody else in between that, if judgment is in the books for you, nobody's going to get you out of it. Nobody. This is that's actually another great scripture, but I'm going to go ahead. This is GMS Vegas Sit Downs. Matthew 6:31. Therefore, take no thought, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or wherewithal shall we be clothed? For after all these things do the Gentiles seek, for your heavenly Father knoweth that you have need of all these things. That's right. You ain't supposed to be now, like we always say, there's nothing wrong with getting extra food, extra beans, some rice, a few things here and there. Get some water for the initial, the initial shutdown. But thinking that you're going to be able to prep your way out of the destruction or out of this what's coming, it's a vain thought. It's not going to happen. GMS Saints of the Most High, Esau is carnal. Romans 8:6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Absolutely. You see it? Absolutely, man. You gotta be spiritual to get out of this. GMS in the Truth Orlando, Executive Order 10998. Seizure of all food sources, farms, and food equipment. Food will be rationed. Today, some states have anti-hoarding laws on the books stating that anything over 1 week's supply of food is considered hoarding and against the law. That's right. And that's that executive order. The NDAA bill got all these executive orders in it that they can confiscate all your shit. All your shit. You ain't gonna be able to keep that stuff. That's why we told you, Pastor Dowles and your other people, your compound is gonna get raided by troops. You ain't gonna get out of this thing unless the Most High wants you to get out of it. That's the only way. That's the only way. Yep, the brother said that Karen thinks she can outlast the prophecies. It's not going to work. Yaquab, Judah, Israel, Revelation 18:17. For in 1 hour, so great riches has come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off, and they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city wherein we were made rich, all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. When the missiles come, they're going to purge this whole bitch. Ain't going to be nothing left, man. Ain't going to be nothing left. Absolutely. GMS Champion, 2nd Ezra 15:19. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. That's right. The brother said that food will be for the elect or UN troops. That's it. To the victor go the spoils, as the old saying goes. That means whoever, the survivor, the fittest that survives, they're going to get everything. But the Most High going to feed the elect. He's going to feed his elect some type of way. And it could very well be with these people's bunkers. This is GMS Vegas Sit Downs. Oh, you know what? First is read endure for everlasting, Isaiah 65:13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. So the Most High has promised he's going to feed his elect. He's going to give his elect water. GMS Vegas, sit down. 2nd Ezra 16:46. That's prophesied to come, as well as this scripture. 2nd Ezra 16:46. For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captive. Their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children. Yeah, man, it's going to be some severe shit coming. And these people, they know in their spirit that something is coming. And stupid ass Jake still worrying about Jada Pinkett and Will Smith and Chris Rock and the slap. We ain't think about them niggas, man. All of them going to be destroyed if they don't repent. Amawan Abad. Proverbs 13:22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children. The wealth of a sinner is laid up for the just. Woo! The wealth of the sinners is laid up for the just. You heard it? Much food is the tillage of the poor, but there is that is destroyed for want of judgment. Ooh, nasty. This is GMS Harakah. First, GMS on the go, Elder Hawad. Ecclesiastes 39:33. All the works of the Lord are good, and he will give every needful thing in due season. You heard that? The Lord gonna give us what we need. We gonna be all right. GMS Harakah, 2nd Ezra 2:26. As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. Woo! You know it. You heard it? That's a promise from the Lord of hosts. And I want to read this brother's scripture. We're going to go on. Mos Naim, servant of Yahweh Shai. He had put up that one from Job, but I don't see it now. It's a lot here, brothers. If I move, skip over some of your brother's scriptures, because there's so many. You see the comment board is tight. It's packed. Anyway, the brother got up Job 5:21. It says, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. Absolutely. You see? Absolutely. So we ain't got nothing to worry about. We're going to be all right. So let's go back to the article briefly, and then we're going to move on. This actually gave us a charge reading this, because these Edomites are afraid. Anytime you people get scared out there, we get happy. So she says, okay, we read that part. And that's actually probably it. She says, I believe everyone should be to some degree prepared, as food is necessary for life and everyone should have extra for an emergency. Quote, the day is upon us where being prepared is a blessing, as food will disappear and become overpriced if there's a war. We will all feel the side effects eventually. In total, Rowan reckons she has spent over 15,000 euros. I guess it's 15,000. Preparing for the end of the world, especially in the wake of war in Ukraine. She has gone viral on TikTok, where a video tour of her bunker has racked up nearly 1 million views. In the video, the caption reads, been prepping for over 2 years. This is only part of what I've done to make sure my family is fed when shit goes south. Get ready, y'all. Woo-woo. As the camera pans, it reveals 10 bottles of oil, storage boxes full of oats, flour, and other cupboard essentials. In comments under the video, people expressed their shock at Rowan's preparations, with some people claiming she has wasted her money. Damn unbelievers. One person wrote, this makes me so scared. Why did I bring children into this world? Another said, why has everyone been doing this lately? Do y'all know something I don't? Obviously they do. But it ain't going to help them either, or you. Rowan says lots of people seem to disagree with how she lives her life, but believes they attack her because they don't understand. She added, knowledge is power, and I love to help people. It's what I do. I feel like I've made myself very vulnerable, but I believe it's for a good cause. And like I said in the other video, when Khloe Kardashian dealing with the whole bunker, you're the biggest asshole in the world if you got a bunker and everybody knows where it's at. My friends and family think I'm crazy, but I always tell them that when the time comes, they won't be calling me crazy then. My biggest advice is don't panic, breathe, make a list and execute. It's easy to get overwhelmed and try to panic by supplies, but I don't and will never encourage this, because you've been playing it slow. And it's all good. Somebody says down here, do you have a plan for the end of the world? Yeah, I got a plan to be saved by the Lord. And if that don't work, then I'm through. That's it. That's all we got. All we got is Yahweh Shai. Let's see if we can if we can see the video. Maybe it'll play. Hold on here. Let's see if we can get it to play.
I was just told that I was a hoarder, and it's people like me who make it hard for mothers to feed their children because I'm taking all the food off the shelves. I really wish that before you say something like that to me, you would get informed. You would inform yourself, you do some research, because what I'm doing is not hoarding. This is called preparing, and there is a huge difference. I don't understand why somebody would say that to me, but I'm just going to let you know right now, I will not put up with any of that kind of stuff on my page. I'm here to inform. I'm a good person. I'm a really giving person, and I would never, ever do anything to prevent a mother from feeding their child.
Except feed yours first. These people, man, they're on a low level. I'm going to see if I can give out the link to the article. Copy.
Check it out.
To actually go to the comment board and put it up. Yeah, there it is. So if brothers want to go there, you can actually look up, and you probably can find a better version of it. But you can go to that article and get the title, and you can, Google it and probably find a better version of it. All right. And Shalom Howard Shah Zion, he says, her simple carnal ass doesn't understand prepping can't help you if the Lord is not with you. That's right. Someone can come bop you over the head and take all your prep work. She has intelligence of pond water. I mean, that's what most of these Americans, man. They're too dumb. All right, Tawada Elder Hawad, I was hoping somebody would look that up. So the 15,000 euros she spent so far, it would equal $16,764. You see how much more value the euro is? You could think back to the days when the dollar bill was the #1 currency on the planet. It no longer is. See that? So 15,000 euros equals $16,764. That's fire. Man. It's fire. So let's get Yahweh's truth right here. Proverbs 21:18. The wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous, and the transgressor for the upright. If you think back, the Most High said he's going to give men for our life. It's in one of the scriptures I can't remember. It's Isaiah 43, I believe it is. Ethiopian saber is going to be a ransom, like that. Anyway, take me from among the heathen. Hebrews 10:31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. That's right. And if you, man, that made me want to get this scripture. Let me grab it real quick. Rod of the wicked. See, people don't really get it. You think it's something you can do. You need to be on the side of right. If you're on the Most High side, he's going to be on your side. That's all it's about. The Most High controls death and the wicked. This is Psalms 125, verse 1. They that trust in the Lord shall be as Mount Zion, which cannot be removed, but abideth forever. As the mountains are round about Jerusalem, so the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, is around about his people from henceforth, even forever. For the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous, lest the righteous put forth their hands unto iniquity. It's about who you know. If you know the Lord, he know you, you ain't got nothing to worry about. And you start doing wickedness, then be afraid. Be very afraid. So unless the Lord wants something bad happen to you, it ain't gonna happen, man. Let's read a few more of these and then get it moving. This is GMS in the Truth Orlando, Proverbs 28:8. He that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. You storing up goods for the elect. I'm going to read it again. He that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. Hey, and the prophets, the elect are the poor. Okay? That's going to be the poor in the coming, what's coming up. We ain't worried about no 2/3 ass niggas with white mouth. We ain't worried about you. We just worry about our people. And our people are those that do the will of the Lord, man. Yep. Elder Karazar said a lot of MFs know her face now. Absolutely. See, she might disappear. They get the keys. They might take her down in the bunker and stay down there with her. What's she going to do? She can't fight them off. Shalom Israel 777, Proverbs 9:4. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. As for him that wanteth understanding, she said to him, come, eat of my bread and drink of the wine which I have mingled. See that? This woman, Sophia, she gonna take care of you. Okay? Wisdom is gonna take care of you if the Most High with you. Yep, brother says you probably been watching the videos. Absolutely. So let's get on. Yeah, the comment board, man. Scripts all over the place, right? We can't even, man, we got a lot more news, but hey, our main thing is the scriptures always, though. GMS Vegas sit-downs, Ecclesiastes, Sirach 33:1. There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord. What? There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord. What? There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord. But in temptation, even again, he will deliver him. Man, that's awesome. These scriptures is making me feel fabulous. Fabulous. It is a comforter, right? Man, salvation of the elect. Psalms 37:39. But the salvation of the righteous is of the Lord. He is their strength in the time of trouble. Not no bunker nigga. GMS on the go. Elder Hawad. Ecclesiastes 11:14 or Sirach 11:14. Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord. You got nothing to worry about. Why you worried? Why is you worried? You worried because your ass wicked. That's why. Because if you one of the people of the Lord, you got nothing to be worried about. Nothing to be worried about. Which, your flesh is going to do some worrying, but at the end of the day, your spirit can overpower that weak flesh and tell you, snap out of it, man. Don't you believe in the God of Israel? Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai? Then if you don't believe it, then yeah, you should be scared then. So let me put the headphones in. Let's go back to the news and get back into it. We got more to cover. The scriptures is rolling. The Most High provided on this Shabbat. He provided a smorgasbord for us. So let's keep eating. Hold on, brother. Let me get this thing back right here.
Tonight, Russia saying it will pull troops back from...
All right, so we went a little bit of ways on this. Right? Where we go? Hold on, y'all. Start back about right. Yeah, we'll start back by right here.
Andrei was recovered by Ukrainian troops. His injured daughter was taken by relatives. He has no idea where. His wife's remains are still in the car. Too dangerous to reach her.
I can't even imagine how that must feel.
I also can't express what's happening inside of me. It feels like a dream, a nightmare. But I can wake up, while my wife cannot. He only has one picture of her with him, but he can't bear to look at it.
Richard, the president today signaling a bit of skepticism. He says he's not going to read anything into the Russian statements until he sees what their actions are.
Well, I think here, Lester, there's even more skepticism than that, with many people believing that this is just a way for Russia to buy time so it can rearm its troops and move them from where they haven't been terribly effective around Kyiv and bring them out here to the east. And I can tell you, in this city, the Russian incoming fire has been more intense tonight than in previous days.
All right, Richard Engel, thank you. Let's go now to the side of those high-stakes talks. I'm joined by Keir Simmons from Istanbul. And Keir, I understand there were not many signs of trust around that table today.
That's right, Lester. There were many headlines made by the talks in the building behind me. One of them sparked by a startling warning from the Ukrainian foreign minister, telling Ukrainians in the room not to eat or drink or touch any surfaces for fear they could be contaminated with poison. And a Russian oligarch was invited by the Ukrainians. Most of the proposals came from the Ukrainians. Neutrality, a new long-term plan for Crimea, and a new strategic stability pact with Ukraine, where the West would defend Ukraine's safety. Of course, all of this, Lester, has to be agreed by President Putin. And tonight, the Russians are saying a meeting between President Putin and President Zelensky is a possibility, something they've ruled out until now. Lester?
Encouraging to know talks are underway. All right, Keir, thank you.
I don't like doing paperwork.
Hold on,
and
brothers.
I don't like sitting in the office. It was taking up too much time, and I wanted to find a different method of.
As the war goes on, some of the first Ukrainian refugees have now made it to the U.S. after overcoming obstacles at the U.S. border that impact all asylum seekers. Antonia Hilton has that story from California.
This is now home for Sofia Inachuk and her 3 children, adjusting to a new life in California with relatives they had never met until a few weeks ago.
We all had lives, beautiful lives, full of happiness and friends.
It feels like everything's changed in the matter of a couple weeks.
Yes.
They fled Ukraine 3 days after the bombings began, heading for Mexico.
I have family and friends in USA.
But Sofia was turned away by Border Patrol twice.
How did that leave you feeling?
That moment I was really destroyed.
The U.S. border is still officially closed to asylum seekers because of Title 42, a public health policy put in place during the Trump administration that remains under President Biden, denying entry due to COVID. On her 3rd attempt to enter, attorney Blaine Bookie, who was working with a Haitian child, saw Sofia and helped her get an exemption.
Every single day that passes, it becomes more and more absurd for the administration to claim that Title 42 has any basis whatsoever in public health.
For months, the Biden administration has been under pressure to end Title 42. Immigration advocates hope it will be lifted in early April, restoring the asylum process for all refugees.
What I'm very worried about is all of the families, just like Sofia's, from Haiti, Cameroon, El Salvador, other countries that are languishing.
Officials expect an immediate uptick in refugees trying to enter. Many are waiting in shelters along the border, hoping to make an asylum claim as soon as the policy ends. Sofia is grateful she and her children are safe, but her heart is still in Ukraine.
I want them to stay safe, to stay alive. I feel sorry for all that guys that are dying, for all these mothers that will not see their sons anymore.
Antonia Hilton, NBC News, Alamo, California.
All right, let's turn now to the COVID threat. Today, the FDA authorized.
Now, before we go on, it's been estimated. It said that I saw an article the other day that came across the chat. Something like 11,000 Russian troops have died over there in Ukraine since the fighting started. I don't know if I believe that, because if that was the case, if 11,000 Russians died, it's got to be way more Ukrainians died. But I don't believe the numbers that they report. That's because that's how Esau roll, Give you some false numbers and shit. So this is real quick. Shalom Israel 777, Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And we're seeing that, right? Now, this brother had a quote from Sun Tzu's Art of War, Yahweh's Truth. Sun Tzu's Art of War: all warfare is based on deception. And that's pretty accurate, because you never want the enemy to know how many troops you lost, how many troops you got, where exactly they are, where your position is, things like that, things of that nature. So anyway, let's get back to the news. We'll read more scriptures, as we go through this.
A second vaccine booster for older Americans, but many remain hesitant about getting the added protection, even as concern grows over a new variant. Ann Thompson with late details now.
Older Americans have another chance to roll up their sleeves. The FDA today greenlighting a second booster of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines for anyone 50 and older 4 months after their first booster.
Think of this fourth shot, the second booster, as really helping bring you back to those same levels that you had to protect against Omicron.
The FDA also approved a second booster for the immunocompromised, including transplant recipients, people undergoing cancer treatment, and those with chronic conditions like lupus or rheumatoid arthritis. The age range for that group, 12 and older for Pfizer, 18 and up for Moderna.
Is a second booster a sign of failure on the part of vaccines?
Not at
Yes.
all. The second booster is just a reminder that vaccines are incredible, but they naturally decrease over time.
While cases are declining in the U.S., the rate of decline has slowed. Today, the highly contagious BA2 variant is the dominant strain, accounting for 55% of new cases, a 20% jump in 1 week. But so far, boosters have been a tough sell. Of the 217 million fully vaccinated Americans, fewer than half, just about 97 million, got the extra shot.
How much impact will this have on the spike if fewer than half got the first booster?
It won't have as much of an impact on the spike itself. What it will have an impact on is how many hospitalizations and unfortunate deaths we will have.
By boosting antibodies to reduce the severity of COVID. Ann Thompson, NBC News, New York.
The January 6th committee's investigation is coming to a head tonight on multiple fronts, with reports of a 7+ hour gap in President Trump's phone logs from that day, and 2 more of his former advisors face being held in contempt of Congress. With more on all that, here's Garrett Hake.
The January 6th committee taking aggressive new steps to secure cooperation from critical witnesses, fighting to enforce their subpoenas by voting to recommend holding 2 more top Trump aides in contempt of Congress.
It's very important for us not to let people just blow off the Congress of the United States.
Senior aides Dan Scavino.
Let's stop this momentarily. I wanted to show something just came up on the feed. I'm going to share with you brothers. Let's see if I can get to it. I can make the announcement, but I'd rather show it if I can. Right, yeah, subscriptions. I just did a post of it, but I'll go ahead and show it if I can get to it. Let's see here. So right here from GMS on air, let's go to it.
Hey, shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Hey, this is your brother Ayathan, and just letting you know right now, it's 10:15 on March 30th, and the Bishop Manazatach is going to about to do a live stream on his channel. Here it is right here. You can see it. Disappoint the wicked. So again, this is the Bishop Manazatach, and he's about to do a live stream on his channel, and it's called "Who Really Are the Fake Israelites?" Again, disappoint the wicked is the channel. Get on there right now. He's going to be starting in a few minutes. Shalom.
All right, so keep a lookout, brothers. That's the Elder Bishop's going to be live on Disappoint the Wicked. I want to see if there was a link. Let's see, I will put it on the comment board if there's a link.
Hey, shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bashim.
See if we get a link to it, if he put it here or not. Anyway, you can go to this channel, Disappoint the Wicked. That's the Elder Bishop's going to be live. So, Lord willing, we can get to the end of this before they start up. But if not, I would not be offended if brothers, go over there and check out the Elder Bishops, because, that's that's edification. Edification, you know what I mean? That's our teachers. And you can best believe after this, I'm going to tune in. So let's get back to it. Hold tight, brothers. Come on now. Best believe after this, I'm going to tune in. All right. Right. Try to get my comment board back up. Damn it, come on, man. All right. So, yeah, now we can get back to the news. And this is going to play pretty quick because some of this stuff we're going to skip. When it comes to this Trump crap, we're going to skip a lot of that. It's not important.
And Peter Navarro have each claimed...
Yeah, we don't care about that. The Trump stuff. He ain't even the president. And all the, hours of tape missing and all that. We don't care about that.
Key interviews, Trump's son-in-law and senior advisor Jared Kushner scheduled to appear. Lester?
Garrett Hake on Capitol Hill. Thank you. We're watching for...
Yeah, the brother put the link to the channel over there on the chat board. And as a matter of fact, the live stream just went live. So we're gonna be finishing this up shortly anyway. There's only about 6 minutes left in this. Then we're gonna shut it down anyway. So, do what you brother, whatever you brothers want to do. Let's continue on.
Severe weather tonight, tens of millions at risk of violent storms and tornadoes over the next couple of days. Al Roker's tracking it. What's the latest?
Well, right now, Lester, we are looking at a wide swath from Des Moines all the way down into Texas. Currently, 20 million people at risk. Strong winds, damaging hail. Tornadoes are possible as this makes its way. We're really concerned tomorrow. Damaging winds for 35 million people. Strong, long-track tornadoes. Hail as well. As this system pushes to the east tonight, we're looking for those storms ramping up from Texas to Missouri. Tomorrow, this destructive line from Chicago down to New Orleans, almost 900 miles. And then Thursday, scattered storms likely in the mid-Atlantic. In fact, we are looking for 21 million people at risk. Thursday, stretching from New York all the way down into the panhandle of Florida. We're talking anywhere from 3 to 4 inches of rain. Could be flash flooding, but the thing we're most concerned about, Lester, the strong winds and these nighttime tornadoes.
All right, Al, thanks for the update. In London, Queen Elizabeth made her first major public appearance since testing positive for COVID-19 last month. She joined her family at a memorial service for her late husband, Prince Philip, who died last year at age 99. The Queen was escorted by her son, Prince Andrew, his first public appearance since a judge dismissed a sexual abuse lawsuit tied to Jeffrey Epstein, allegations he's denied. Up next, inside a city preparing for war amid fears that history will repeat itself.
ربنا يجازيك ويبارك لكم.
Salakia.
جعل هذا الفيديو. This is Sultan.
More now on the war in Ukraine and the urgent preparations in Odessa, where volunteers are bracing for the fighting to reach their doorstep. Molly Hunter is inside the port city tonight.
This is a city on the brink of war. The famous port city is not only on Russia's wish list for its strategic location on the Black Sea, home to Ukraine's Navy, but also for its cultural heritage.
Now, we can't show you any of the military positions. We can't show you the checkpoints at almost every single intersection. What I can show you is the sandbags, the tires, the huge hedgehogs. This city is fortified in the historic city center, and they're ready for a fight.
Today, we visited a defense training facility, part blacksmith, part boot camp, all volunteers. Igor last fought in the Russian army in Kazakhstan in the late 70s. After all these years, he says, he's starting from scratch. He never thought he'd have to pick up another gun. But when exactly the Russians might launch an attack, no one here quite knows.
I believe that it can be even in 1 hour.
Nikolai Bukansky is running a volunteer hub, until recently a trendy food court.
Oysters and champagne. I'm Jewish, so this is second time genocide in my family life. The first time.
What do we tell you over there? Had a lot of them small hatters among the Ukrainians. See?
They tried to kill us because we were Jewish. Now they want to kill us because we are Ukrainian. But we are strong. That's our home.
Defiance runs throughout the streets of Odessa.
When was this built?
30 years.
In 1930?
Yes.
And below them, this bunker, last used in World War II, is a web of tunnels.
It's huge. It's much taller than I thought.
It's reopened for those choosing to stay.
This is where you come during the air raid siren?
People here bracing for impact. Molly Hunter, NBC News, Odessa.
And up next, as we continue, almost 70 years after the lynching of Emmett Till, the new law that is long overdue. Finally, history made at the White House today with the signing of a law named for Emmett Till that at long last makes lynching a federal hate crime. Kristen Welker on a day that has been decades in the making.
A lifetime ago, but a moment that has haunted the family of Emmett Till and the nation for nearly 70 years.
It's with you all the time. I mean, you can't forget that, you just can't.
In 1955, Till was only 14 years old, visiting relatives in Mississippi when he was accused of whistling at a white woman, then kidnapped, beaten and brutally murdered. His killers never convicted. His mother insisting on an open casket so the world could see what had been done to her child. Reverend Wheeler Parker, the oldest child seen here with Till, is Emmett's cousin. Parker is the last living relative to witness the abduction.
What do you remember about that moment?
I remember hearing the men talk about 2:30 in the morning. I said, we're getting ready to die. These people are going to kill us.
Today, Reverend Parker was at the White House to bear witness once again, this time history being made in his cousin's name.
I just signed into law the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act.
President Biden signed the first law that makes lynching a federal hate crime, passed unanimously in the Senate this month.
Racial hate isn't an old problem. It's a persistent problem.
Congress had tried and failed to pass anti-lynching laws nearly 200 times for more than a century. The Emmett Till law imposes a prison term of up to 30 years on a person who commits a hate crime that results in death, serious injury, or that includes kidnapping, sexual abuse, or attempt to kill. And lawmakers who worked on the bill say it would apply to cases like the 2020 killing of Ahmaud Arbery, the 25-year-old black man who was killed by 3 white men. Arbery's killers were all convicted of federal hate crimes.
3 devils.
It took 100 years, over 100 years, but it tells us that there's hope.
Today's signing, a testament to a teenager never forgotten, a step forward in civil rights, long overdue. Kristen Welker, NBC News, the White House.
And that's nightly news for this Tuesday. Thank you for watching.
You know, the things, here, let me take these earphones out. Things like that get on my damn nerves because Jake always celebrate. What the fuck are you celebrating? You celebrating them signing a law that doesn't help you unless you get damn near killed or unless you get killed. What the fuck is the big point in celebrating? All them niggas that was there. Anyway. Yeah, the brother GMS Orlando and the Truth said the damage is done. What are they talking about? Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Let's go ahead and shut it down, brothers. I'm going to read a few scriptures. The brother had, one of the brothers had Zechariah 11. And whenever you put that up, you got to read what go with it. Zechariah 11:4, it says, Thus saith the Lord, my power, feed the flock of the slaughter. Who's the flock of the slaughter? The Israelites. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. See, the people were never brought to justice that did that heinous crime to that boy, man. He was a, nice looking young dude, as you saw the picture there, man. And imagine that was his cousin, that was standing there giving the testimony. He was there when they kidnapped him, man. Imagine being Emmett Till's cousin and shit. His oldest living relative. Whose possessors, his only living relative. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not. And that's us. That's our people. Let's get Revelation. We're going to get a few here. Then we're going to shut it down. Revelation 6, verse 9. And when he had opened the 5th seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, and to their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were, should be fulfilled. And these are the ones that died for the truth, right? You got a great many Israelites that died for the testimony. But you can also include in there, if we go to Revelation 18 and 20, all those Israelites. Revelation 18 and 20, the Most High is going to pay back Babylon the Great for all that shit that's been done to our people. Revelation 18 and 20 says, Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High hath avenged you on her. Emmett Till will be part of the heaven. The kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. See? And the good news is Emmett Till going to come back in the kingdom, but he going to be, he going to be in his right state of mind. All those slaves, lynchings, those murders, all this stuff, the people from Black Wall Street, all coming back in the kingdom, man. If they was, the ones that were Israelites. Because you could have had, some mixed in there that wasn't. But by all intent and purposes, I believe most of them was Israelites. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High hath avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea. These great millstone is parabolic for the nuclear missiles, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. So the Most High is going to punish those that persecuted and hurt us. All right. So we're getting ready to shut it down here. Look at this thing. It's always messing up. Hold on, brothers. There we go. Shut that off. So, the water, everybody, for joining in with the lesson. All right, you brothers is killing it on the comment board still. We're going to go ahead and shut it down, though. All right. Yeah, and then the comment board is rolling, man. Damn. Look at that. GMS Saints of the Most High, Lamentations 4:17. As for us, our eyes are yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. That's what Jake used to say. But we coming to a new day now. They're going to be the ones saying that. Anyway, I guess that's a good place to end right there, brothers. The water for all the excellent scriptures, right, for all the support. All right, I enjoyed it. We'll come back again, Lord willing, with more videos, lessons. All right, as the days go by, Lord willing. So we'll see you again soon. And see you again soon with another lesson, Lord willing. All right. All praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Shabbat Shalom.